Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our soulful morning. Let's start our morning with a beautiful gesture of gratitude. So let's close our eyes, straighten our backs, open our hands in receiving mudra or folded hands, whatever you're comfortable with, and be grateful for the blessings that we are soaking in, to all the divine synchronicities that are unfolding around us, to all the magical and cosmic things that are happening. Think of the 10 things that you're grateful for, which have happened in the last 24 hours, if possible. Otherwise, something that you're grateful for just in life. Increasing our power of gratitude helps us go deep within and tap into our subconscious mind. Being grateful for everything around, whatever you do in the last 24 hours, scanning the day, helps us prep up for all the learnings that are coming our way as we read this beautiful book. Helps us master the art of going inward. The only truth to look at life. Things happen outside, our daily duties, or whatever they are. But whatever is most important is what happens inside. Have I become a better person in the last 24 hours? Have I indulged in any act of kindness, compassion, empathy? Have I done something for love unconditionally? How have I been for my body? Our soul has reincarnated in this body. Am I doing this body a favor by looking after it? That's my paramount duty. Am I looking after it? Am I feeding it something worthy and not something processed? Am I exercising it enough? Any form of yoga, walk, anything. Am I finding and feeding my mind by giving it what it needs to be nurtured and not any kind of debris which is happening around the world? The news or the OTTs, which just take away the power. Am I sitting in silence reflecting on how life is unfolding, or am I merely witnessing it? Am I learning to help myself, or am I dependent on some outer energy? Mind, body, heart, and soul. Soul is a gift with all the superconscious memories, all the wisdom. Has my intuition become a bit better than what it was? And am I able to look into the difference that I'm having from day to day, every day after 24 hours? Am I able to look at the difference? Am I willing to make a change to what is not acceptable to me or what is not acceptable in the spiritual world? Or am I sticking with it? Because if I'm sticking with it, that means I'm not willing to make the change. I'm accepting that as a reality. The two perspectives of looking at something: what is in plain sight and what is inside. Sometimes knowing something is unfolding is acceptable, sometimes it isn't. If it isn't, have I questioned myself to change my way of looking at it? Why am I walking on the path of dark if I am? What kind of push do I need to get out and see the light? We all know everything, and yet we're not being able to do anything, perhaps. Why? Life is happening for us, but are we whiling away this beautiful life, this gift of life, by not doing anything remarkable? Each one of us makes a difference. Am I working on the mass consciousness, or at least my own consciousness? It's so easy to be playing the victim mode, to be blaming everybody or everything. But it's difficult to take a step and get out of the victim mode and to be the change that you want to see. Am I doing that? Am I tuned inwards? Has my telepathy, my intuitive power become a bit sharper, become a bit stronger? Can I be grateful to the universe for whatever energy it is holding? And can I be grateful for the energy, the positivity that I am radiating and I'm feeling, or I will feel? Knowing that there's always light, knowing that there's always a beautiful message, there's always a beautiful lesson. And can I be grateful for the lesson that today I'm going to be learning, which will come my way through these beautiful words, words of insight, depth, knowledge, to the masters who've been speaking to us, maybe as a poet, maybe as some other elevated masters, who are coming to us as Catherine shares her wisdom with Dr. Wise, and hence with all of us. The profound truth. Do we hear the profound truth and just let it be, or do we actually allow it to sink deep within? Am I learning to meditate more deeply by not only tapping into my subconscious mind, my superconscious mind, but also do an astral travel and look at everything from a distance? Whether I can see it or not, can I believe it? Am I a part of it? Meditation is the deepest gift we can give to ourselves. Meditation can happen even while we are sleeping. Do I make use of my morning session and follow it up with a deeper meditation? Or am I coming here with just an expectation to be able to just read? The deeper I go into me, the deeper I meditate in me, is what I'm gifting myself. If that is the eternal truth we all agree, then there would be a remarkable shift in our soul's journey. Our soul is expecting from us to make that shift. We may have forgotten the purpose that we are born here with, but even if we awaken to that purpose for a conscious 10 minutes a day, 24 minutes, a little part of our day, then we are making a conscious effort in shifting the consciousness. Am I prioritizing my mental health, my spiritual health, my physical health? This is my dharma. And the karma I do should be in line with the dharma. I have been given a physical body. It is important for me to nurture it with the food, with exercise, with the surrounding. I have been given a mental body. We are blessed to be having a proper mind. There are so many people whose mind doesn't work. Then they're called mentally challenged. But our challenge is to have a stable mind, progress deep within. We have been given a spirit, a spiritual body, one that is free from our body. But then living in this body with this mind, can we tune into the energy of that spiritual world, which is so easy. It's easy because you believe in it. It's easy because you trust in it. It's easy because you have faith in it. Right now, what we can't see is something we will see one day, as long as we keep going, keep going, keep going within. Inward journey is all that there is. I asked myself the question this morning, that have I become even a tiny bit measurable difference, bit better than what I was yesterday? If yes, we are in the right path. If no, there's still hope. We may have faltered, but the good news is we can always pick ourselves up. Can we count the blessings of our gurus, our teachers, our ancestors, Dr. Wise, whoever is coming our way, whenever they're coming? Can I count the blessings of the home that I live in? Not the house, but the home with the energy that I have also contributed to creating it. Can I be grateful for the love that is surrounding everywhere, which makes me loving, me lovable, and me loved? Whether I realize it or no, I matter. Can I be grateful for the strength, the agility, the balance, the power, the harmony, the angels, the guardians, the spirit guides, who continue to empower me, enliven me, enlighten me? Can I be grateful to me for being open and receptive to learning, to waking up early, to tune inward? What a marvelous gift I've been given, and every day I'm tapping into it. Otherwise, it's so easy to not wake up to it and do it maybe in some other hour on YouTube or any other platform. But I must compliment myself, for I believe I fixed myself up to do this live, because energy matters. And it's also a conscious energy, a collective conscious energy. And finally, if your hands are unfolded and bring them together, Keep them near your heart and feel that point inside, deep within your heart. Fix that one point, expand it as you expand your hands. From in there come the blessings for the world. Whatever we have reflected, whatever we have wished, whatever we have been grateful for, may that multiply, may that amplify. May each one of us become a better version of ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, ethically. May we all realize that we are all one. May we all realize that whatever is needed to shift is within us, tucked within us. And so it is. Love, life, blessings, and lots of gratitude in our beautiful universe for one and all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now you can rub your hands, feel the heat, bless your wonderful eyes, and see this beautiful, bright world, and ready to embrace the learning that will be unfolding in just few mere seconds. Chapter number 12 in this wonderful book by Dr. Brian Weiss, Many Lives, Many Masters, wherein we are talking about Catherine, his patient in the 80s. And he says, 3.5 months had passed since our first hypnosis session. Not only had Catherine's symptoms virtually disappeared, but she had progressed beyond merely being cured. She was radiant with the peaceful energy around her. People were drawn to her. When she ate breakfast in the hospital cafeteria, both men and women would rush to join her. You look so beautiful. I just want to tell you that, they would say. Like a fisher, she would reel them in on an invisible psychic line. And she had been eating unnoticed in the same cafeteria for years. Isn't it marvelous that each one of us who's been tuned into these books with Dr. Wise is sharing, is tuning into this innate wisdom that's coming into us? Even reading about the therapy of Catherine, we are all healing. And just the way Catherine has dropped all the dark layers, and finally, the light that she has in her is now shining bright and attracting people to her. That shift will and must happen in our beings. Whether it's noticed, whether it's unnoticed, if you feel the shift that there's some light coming in your life, so much more bliss will come in. As usual, she sank quickly into a deep hypnotic trance in my dimly lit office, her blonde hair spilling over in rivulets on the familiar beige pillow. I see a building. It's made out of stone, and there's something pointed on the top of it. It's in a very mountainous area. It's very damp. It's very damp outside. I see a wagon. I see a wagon going by the front. The wagon has hay in it, some kind of straw in hay or something for the animals to eat. There are some men there. They're carrying some type of banners, something flying on the end of a stick. Very bright colors. I hear them talking about Moors, and a war that's being fought. There's some type of metal, something metal covering their heads, some type of head covering made of metal. The year is 1483, something about Danes. Are we fighting the Danes? Some war is being fought. Are you there? I questioned. I don't see that. I see the wagons. They have two wheels on them, two wheels and an open back They are open, the sides are gone with slats, some type of wooden slats held together. I see something metal they wear around their neck, very heavy metal in the shape of a cross, but the ends are curved, the ends are round on the cross. It's a feast of some saint. I see swords. They have some type of knife or sword, very heavy, very blunt edge. They're preparing for some battle. Dr. Wise says, see if you can find yourself. Look around. Perhaps you're a soldier. You're seeing them from somewhere. I'm not a soldier. Look around. I brought some of the provisions. It's a village, some village. You were silent. What do you see now? I see a banner, some type of banner. It's red and white, white and a red cross. Is it the banner of your people? It's a banner of the king's soldiers. Is this your king? Yes. Do you know the king's name? I don't hear that. He's not there. Can you look and see what you're wearing? Look down and what you're wearing. I'm wearing some sort of leather tunic over a very rough shirt. A leather tunic. It's short. Some type of animal skin shoes. Not shoes, more like boots or moccasins. No one's talking to me. I understand. What color is your hair? It's light and I'm old, but there's some gray to it. How do you feel about this war? It has become my way of life. I've lost a child in a previous skirmish. A son? Yes, she was sad. Who's left for you? Who's left in your family? My wife and my daughter. What was your son's name? I don't see him. I don't see his name. I remember him. I see my wife. Catherine had been both male and female many times. Childless in her present life, she had parented numerous children in her other lifetimes. What does your wife look like? She's very tired, very tired. She's old. We have some goats. Does your daughter still live with you? No, she's married and left some time ago. Are you alone then? You and your wife, yes. How is your life? We are tired. We are very poor. It has not been easy. No, you've lost your son. Do you miss him? Yes. Have you been a farmer? Yes. There's wheat, something like wheat. Have there been many wars in your land through your life with so much tragedy? Yes. But you have lived to be old, but they fight away from the village, not in the village. They must travel to where they do battle over many mountains. Do you know the name of the land that you live in or the town? I don't see it, but it must have a name. I don't see it. Is this a very religious time for you? You see crosses on the soldiers. For others, yes, not for me. Is anybody alive yet from the rest of your family other than your wife and your daughter? No. Your parents have died, yes. Brothers and sisters. I have a sister. She's alive. I don't know her. Okay, so if you recognize anyone else in the village or your family, if people did reincarnate in groups, she was likely to find someone there who was also significant in her current lifetime. I see a stone tables, I see bowls. Is this your house? Yes, something made out of her, something yellow, something from corn, or something yellow. We eat this. All right, I added, trying to quicken the pace. This has been a very hard life for you, a very hard life. What are you thinking of? Horses, she whispered. Do you own horses or somebody else? No, soldiers, some of them. Mostly they walk, but they are not horses. They're donkeys or something littler than horses. They're mostly wild. Go ahead in time now, I instructed. You're very old. Try to go to the last day in your lifetime as an old man. But I'm not very old, she objected. She was not particularly suggestible in these past lives. What was happening was happening. I could not suggest away the actual memories. I could not get her to change the detail of what had happened and had been remembered. Is there more to happen in this lifetime? I asked, changing my approach. Is it important for us to know? Nothing of significance. Then go ahead in time. Let's find out what you needed to learn. Do you know? Now, this question, which Dr. Wise asks this man, Catherine, being the man that she was, that is there something more to happen in this lifetime? Now, dear co-learners, on this beautiful morning, let's understand. It is important for us to change the script of the life that we will be living. It is completely on to us. Yes, prarabdha hai, destiny hai, but we always have a choice to live the life that we wish to live. Whatever has not unfolded till now does not matter. What matters is the energy we give to our life henceforward. So that tomorrow, if we are to go into our this life, imagine we have crossed over, imagine we have reincarnated, imagine we're tapping into the memory of this life, then what is happening with us? This life will go in 1 hour session with with the physiotherapist, with the mental therapist, with the regressionist. What will unfold out of this? Whatever we are learning in this life, especially the spirituality, will stay with us. This aspect will stay with us forever and ever. It's ingrained into our being. Now, whether Catherine is a man or whether she's a woman, whether she has mothered, whether she hasn't, whether she has fought wars or whether she's died of poverty or she's had meals or not had meals, is relevant. But what is relevant is a soul's learning in that particular life. And if we start flowing in love and seeing everything with love, our shift will happen. But if we continue to complain, the staff isn't good enough, or this atmosphere isn't good enough, or the environment isn't good enough, or I'm not good enough, then we are stuck in a loop. I have seen so many lives of mine, and almost 7, 8 lives were repetitive. They were repetitive. And past life regression helped me to realize that I must change the track of my loop. Again, I'm in the same loop, which I have lived for so many lives. So, what is a lesson to be learned is the question we can ask ourselves, whether we have done PLR or not, whether we have done regression or not, whether we're ready for it or not. What are we doing for our soul? As long as we keep questioning ourselves, reflecting on what we are. Yes, thank you, Jyoti, for your question. We can change our destiny for sure. We have been given limited breath. What are we whiling away or what are we using that breath in depends on us. Like, I don't know how many of you see spiritual movies, but you'll see that we've always been given a choice whenever our life is being reviewed, which will happen, which is bound to happen. We will come to a point where there'll be a choice. We were given a choice. Did we follow that choice or were we living in that rut lane? When we choose the path of love, when we choose the path that is a dharma, we are bound to elevate. Whether we have bad relationships or good, they can also change with the energy that we give it. That's why they say that we have been given a life, but we are procreating it. Very, very imperative for us to look into that.
What is procreating? Sorry to interrupt.
You're creating something Like there's one creator, now you can call Brahmaji as a creator or anybody. There's universe that's creating us, has written a script for us, like our angels, masters, guardians have helped us to write that, okay, this life's purpose is this. You need to create that. So while something is written for us, are we following it? So we can change. Say if you're going mundane, say if one full day we have wasted and seen OTT all the full day long, and we've just sat down and eaten meals and not walked, not taken the conscious step for mental, physical, energetic, or spiritual body or emotional body. We have wasted that, but when we reflect on that, we're like, okay, I have wasted this, but now how do I cover up? The next day, I spend more time physically by detoxing, by not eating, because yesterday I've eaten too much. Walking a little more extra because yesterday I had a sedentary life. Reading a bit extra because yesterday I did just OTT and nothing for mental and spiritual stimulation. As long as I'm consciously living my life and following the path of love and my dharma, then my karma will become better. And then I can change what is written by trusting the process. Very important for that. So these books make us go deep within, not just what is written on just the reading bit. If the question is asked by our our PLR regressionist later, that is there something more to happen in this lifetime? Imagine if your answer is nothing of significance, then what is the point of living these 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, how many ever years we have in front of us? But even if we have 5 years to live in front of us and we have made them worthwhile, then the life has significance. And that could be for any stream. Mother Teresa just walked in the path of love. Albert Einstein just understood the basic stuff and he just wrote them down. How? We have read 1,000 times that he was grateful for his seniors, his ancestors, people before him, that he was walking in the shoes of. Just grateful for everything. And his gratitude helped him become so intuitive. Like this book is helping me in such a beautiful way. Even before I ask my cook, bhaiya, कि आज खाने में क्या बना है, I know the menu for the lunch. And I'm just testing myself. And I'm like, okay, this is what I think has been made, and I'll get to eat this meal. Let me just ask him. And he confirms. Now, I'm not Bhagwanji or I'm not my mama-in-law who tells the meal, but I know what's being made because intuitively I know. Why? Because a manthan is happening. Yesterday was one of the shortest sessions, I think less than an hour after our meditation closed. I was in a meditation trance and session, and I just finished it. But every day, these beautiful two mornings post the session, they are so therapeutic. So when we all have been given a platform to meditate, to go deep within, we should look at that. I did mention that I do not know this book reading will go for 90 days or 120 days, no idea. Or maybe more, no idea. So let's tune into that, right? Maybe we have registered for 3-4 months, but maybe it goes on for 6-7 months. Is that a good deal or not to ourselves, for our spirituality? Let's make the most of this. Read deep, reflect deep. All right. Dr. Y says, yes, I know. Are you seeing something? I'm just floating. Have you left him now? Yes. Okay, so Rinku, OTT is actually, the full form is over the top. And this is all your Netflixes, your Hotstars and your Z's or Geos or whatever you platform, Prime, Amazon, whatever you have, which is available on television. A few of us still on the set-top boxes seeing what is available with those Tatas and everything, Geos. But most of people have gone to Fire Sticks in the OTTs where they see everything without any ads, they're paid subscriptions. So I use the word OTT more because at least in my house, the boxes have become redundant. They're just there as a backup. but everybody is on OTT. So that's the reason I use that. So, Madhuri, how we know our purpose of life? There are people who channel these purposes of life. Like I've had a soul reading thanks to one of us, Rashi, who mentioned that Nitya Shanti's tribe had a woman who reads soul purpose. Just the way, if people are aware of the astral chart and the numerological chart, and when you're born, nakshatra and all that, जो reading होती है astrology में, ऐसे ही soul की reading भी होती है. And उसमें भी उसकी अपनी reading है. It was very interesting. I had a beautiful session with her, and so much came out of it. And I was reassured that this is my path. Not that I didn't know, because I had this reading also from Bindu Myra, one of my teachers. Bindu Myra has one way of doing it. She channels with the angel master's guide, and then she filters down the information as a recorded message. She takes about 7,500. And this woman from Pondicherry, I forgot her name, sorry. I'm happy to share it. Rashi, in fact, had shared her thing with me. She charges 3,750 for a session of about 2 hours, 1.5, 2 hours, where she prepares your chart, she shows it to you, and she does it. It's really beautiful. So if we do not know our purpose otherwise, this is how we know our purpose. We take help from people to find out, what we are working on. It's always good to know, because हम जो भूले बैठे हैं वो हमें याद आ जाएगा. पर अगर हमें नहीं भी एग्जैक्ट पर्पस मालूम पड़ना है, then at least we can tune into love energy. Then we are never wrong. Okay, back to our book, right? I've taken a lot of deviation already. So Dr. Weiss again nudges that, are you seeing something? She says, I'm just floating. Floating, by now we all know that she has left the body and she's floating up. She's neither alive nor dead. She's in between. Have you left him now? Yes, I'm floating. She had entered the spiritual state again. Do you know now what you need to learn? It was another lifetime for you. I don't know. I'm just floating. Okay, rest. Rest. More minutes passed silently. Then she seemed to be listening to something. Abruptly, she spoke. Her voice was loud and deep. This was not Catherine. Now, when the masters speak to us, let's be very much cognizant of what they're talking to us. There are 7 planes in all, 7 planes, each one consisting of many planes. One of them being the plane of recollection. On that plane, you're allowed to collect your thoughts. You're allowed to see your life that just passed. And this is what I'm talking about. जब डेथ होती है, फिजिकल बॉडी की डेथ होती है, और आपकी सोल ऊपर से देख पा रही है बॉडी को, एक रेस्टिंग फेज आता है जहां पूरी की पूरी लाइफ बचपन से लेकर जब तक आप जाते हैं वो आपके सामने एक फ्लैशबैक की तरह आती है. गुड्स, बैड्स, एवरीथिंग ओपन्स अप. Even this minute that we're reading will also open up. Those wait. Those of the higher levels are allowed to see history. They can go back and teach us by learning about our own life that has just passed. We have debts that must be paid. If we have not paid out these debts, then we must take them into another life. Now remember this again. What are these debts? Each human being is indebted to their parents for bringing them on Mother Earth. So if we do not pay our parents love, respect, nurturing the way they've nurtured us when we were younger, then we are not paying them back. Motherhood and fatherhood can't be paid back, but yes, it can be given a lot of love, and then you kind of equate unconditional love. The other day, I was talking to my daughter, and my husband and my mom called parallel line, like there's a call waiting. My husband said, speak to your daughter first and then talk to mama later. I said, no, my mama will always come first. And I told that to my daughter, that Muskan, I had to cut your phone, but my mom will always come first. If she calls, I will go running. So it's very important that we work with the oysters. डिफरेंट लाइफ में करना पड़ेगा, बट ये उधारी तो खत्म करनी ही पड़ेगी, वो तो है ही. We can't keep taking. If we are doing that in this life, next life we will have to give. I know of one family, they have lost people which you can't even compare. Young children, old people, like death after death after death. In this life, they have robbed other people of their respect. They have robbed other people of the money that they deserved to earn or, inherit or whatever. They have been part of the bad karma by taking away of what was somebody else's right. So their right to love has been snatched away from them because they had to do this in this life. But you see, some people in this life are leading a life and you're like, oh my God, itne paap kara, uske baad bhi he's in masti. Because next life he will have to only finish off this paka ghada that he's filled. He will have to give. So might as well have a normal life this time, right? Conscious living life. The point happens is when we compare ourselves to somebody else, not realizing कि उनकी spiritual journey क्या है. Very important for us to realize our spiritual journey. Yeah, Sonia, the voice was cracking because my internet had shifted from one bandwidth to another, so I converted back into the other one. All right. You progress by paying your debts. Some souls progress faster than others when you're in physical form and you're working through a life. If something interrupts your ability to pay that debt, you must return to the plane of recollection. And there you must wait until the soul you owe the debt to has come to see you. And this waiting could be for thousands of human life years. We can progress on this world of the karmic world only in a human life. कर्म सिर्फ ह्यूमन लाइफ में ही कर सकते हैं बिकॉज हमें एक बॉडी मिली है, फिजिकल बॉडी मिली है. मेंटल एनर्जी बॉडी तो आपके स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में भी रहेगी, बट ये जो फिजिकल बॉडी मिली है ये हमें मिलती है टू डू आवर कर्म. Yes, Rinku, absolutely. It's about breaking the pattern that we're living if it's not a good pattern. If it's a good pattern, then we don't have to break it at all. If it's breaking a pattern which is not conducive to our wholesome growth, our holistic growth, then yes, we must break it. And इसके लिए बहुत effort चाहिए होते हैं because कहीं ना कहीं physical body gets used to these patterns and then to leave them becomes an issue. जैसे ड्रग एडिक्ट को या अल्कोहल एडिक्ट को अल्कोहल के ड्रग्स की आदत हो जाती है, जब वो छोड़ते हैं तो विड्रॉल सिम्टम्स आते हैं. ऐसे ही एक इंसान को जिसको खाने की आदत पड़ी रहती है, जब वो खाना छोड़ता है उसको खाने के लिए विड्रॉल सिम्टम्स आते हैं. सिमिलरली सम पीपल दे यूज्ड टू रिपिंग अदर पीपल ऑफ देयर रिस्पेक्ट. गुस्सा बहुत आता है, जब वो गुस्सा छोड़ते हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं विड्रॉल सिम्टम्स आते हैं, वो भड़ास निकलने की कोशिश करते हैं. दैट टाइम इफ यू रिफ्लेक्ट अपॉन आवर ब्रेथ वर्क, we will realize that we can be back on the track. Some people are addicted to OTT. They can't stop watching television. They need that push all the time, that awaaz, that blaring, because they want to quieten the inner clutter. जो शांति से बैठ सकता है घंटों घंटों घंटों, मतलब कहीं ना कहीं उसने साधना करी है कि वो आराम से अपनी खुद की आवाज के साथ बैठ सकता है. Many of us need spiritual teachers because we want to hear their words. ये भी तो कहीं ना कहीं एडिक्शन है. जैसे मुझे एडिक्शन है टीचर्स का. अब क्या सीखने को मिलेगा, अब क्या सीखने को मिलेगा, मतलब इट इज एंडलेस. So I am trying to tell myself, okay, what you've learned, at least implement that. सीखना 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 से क्या होगा? If we don't implement what we learn, then we are not progressing at all. हमें लग रहा है हम बहुत सीख रहे हैं, हम ये भी एफर्ट कर, एक्चुअली एफर्ट कर रहे हैं क्या? That's a question. So you progress by paying your debts. Some souls progress faster than others, while in the physical form you're working through. you're working through a life. If something interrupts your ability to pay that debt, you must return to the plane of recollection. There you must wait until the soul you owe the debt to has come to see you. And when you both can be returned to physical form at the same time, then you are allowed to return. But you determine when you're going to pay back. Then you're going back. You determine what must be done to pay that debt. You will not remember your other lives, only the one you have just come from. Only those souls on the higher level, the sages, are allowed to call upon history and past events to help us to teach us what we must do. It's very deep work, huh? The seven spiritual laws of, if you read that, you will see the world unfolding. We've read that book. It's very, very, very important for us to know that अभी हम जहां हैं ये बहुत बड़ी ब्लेसिंग है. हम ऊपर जाएंगे, क्या चॉइस करने को मिलेगा, वो जो ना वापस आएगा नहीं आएगा. किसी के साथ रॉन्ग करा है तो अपने ईगो को साइड में करके उसको सॉरी बोल दीजिए. ये भी कार्मिक डेट है जो आपने होल्ड किया हुआ है, आपके सोल पे भारी लग रहा है आपको कि मैंने ये रॉन्ग किया था. वो गिल्ट रखने की जगह जस्ट से सॉरी. ठीक है, सॉरी बोलना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. कई लोग नहीं बोल पाते, ईगो को नहीं रख पाते. एटलीस्ट स्पिरिचुअली उसको सॉरी, उसकी आत्मा से सॉरी बोल दीजिए. एटलीस्ट हैव दैट कनेक्शन. कुछ तो कम होगा. There are 7 planes, 7 through which we must pass before we are returned. One of them is the plane of transition. There you wait. In that plane, it is determined what you will take back with you into the next life. We will all have a dominant trait. This might be greed or it might be lust, but whatever is determined, you need to fulfill your debts to those people. Then you must overcome this in that lifetime. You must learn to overcome greed. And this is very, very, very important. Greed किस बात का? मुझे भी इतना पैसा चाहिए, मुझे भी ये वाला हॉलिडे चाहिए, मुझे भी ऐसा स्पिरिचुअल रिट्रीट चाहिए, मुझे भी ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए, ये चाहिए. जो ज्यादा अल्कोहल पीते हैं, ज्यादा ड्रग खाते लेते हैं, जो ज्यादा खाना खाते हैं, ज्यादा ओटीटी वॉच करते हैं, दे आर ग्रीडी फॉर मोर 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 मोर. दिस माइट बी ग्रीड. So again, analyze our quality of life. In that plane, it is determined what you will take back with you in the next life. We will all have a dominant trait. This may be greed or it might be lust, but whatever is determined, you need to fulfill your debts to those people. There are some people who are sex addicts. They need to have sex. They need to pay for it. They need to have more variety. They need to cheat on their partners and they need to have more partners. That is also cheating. That's also absolutely wrong. It's not our dharma to have multiple partners. If you're cheating there, that's you've also cheated on a very, very, very huge level. Cheating does not only mean that you've cheated somebody and swindled away their money. Cheating also means being married and yet cheating outside the marriage. And if you've done that, now change. Some people, despite making that think, oh, that was a beautiful time. Oh, I looked like $1 million bucks. I felt so great while I was in a relationship. There was even cheating gives you thrill sometimes. The heartbeat goes up. You feel that excitement, but actually you're karmically going down, 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 down. So even if you're right now going back in those memories, you're still cheating on your counterpart. Lots of ways for us to analyze where we are. And we will be born again with this. If you do not, when you return, you will have to carry that trait as well as another one into your next life. The burdens will become greater. With each life that you go through and you do not fulfill these debts, the next one will be harder. If you fulfill them, then you will be given an easy life. If you choose what life you will have. So all of us are making a choice. Now remember, हमें एक choice मिल रही है किस टाइप की लाइफ जीनी है अगली लाइफ हमें, right? आज भी हमें चॉइस मिल रही है किस टाइप की लाइफ जीनी है हमें कल और आज. In the next phase, you're responsible for the life you have. You choose it. Catherine fell silent. Next phase मतलब अभी आज का दिन हम रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं हम किस टाइप का जीवन जिए आज खोटी कर दें या कुछ उसमें प्रोडक्टिव लेकर आए every day makes a difference in the quality of life that we live every day we have an option to invest in ourselves and to take out from the investment अल्टीमेटली कर्मा किस टाइप का होता है बैंक में हम देते भी हैं हम लेते भी हैं देते भी हैं हम लेते भी हैं उसको बैलेंस करेंगे तो कार्मिकली हम बैलेंस हो जाएंगे सिर्फ देते रहेंगे तो वीर गिवर नेक्स्ट लाइफ क्या बनेगी कई लोग होते हैं मैं अपना इंक्लूड करती हूँ वो नॉट easy open and receptive to receiving love was only giving नेक्स्ट लाइफ में कैसी पैदा होंगी probably absolutely on wheelchair और so that कोई मुझे सिर्फ हर समय मेरा देखभाल करता रहे do I want that no what do I do open my heart to receiving love आज भी लोग कॉम्प्लीमेंट करते तो आई जस्ट झेपो लाइक नहीं आई ट्राई टू बिल नहीं ऐसे लग रहा होगा नहीं आई एम जस्ट अ कॉन्ड्यूट आई एम जस्ट अ चैनल then I have to tell myself they're giving me love accept it so what am I doing consciously trying to break my pattern as Rinku says because I know it's not a right pattern so we have to live a conscious life. This was apparently not from a master. He identified himself as we of the lower levels in comparison with those souls on the higher level, the sages. But the knowledge transmitted was both clear and practical. I wondered about the 5 other planes and their qualities. Was the stage of renewal one of those planes? And what about the learning stage and the stage of decisions? All of the wisdom revealed through these messages from souls in various dimensions of the spiritual state was consistent. The style of delivering differed, the phraseology and grammar differed, the sophistication of verse and vocabulary differed, but the content remained coherent. I was acquiring a systematic body of spiritual knowledge. This knowledge spoke of love, hope, faith, charity. It examined virtues and vices, debts owed to others and to oneself. It included past lifetime and spiritual planes between lives. It talked of the soul's progress through harmony and balance, love and wisdom, progress towards a mystical and ecstatic connection with God. Haven't we seen them all unfold? There's a movie. In fact, there are 2 movies. They're Korean movies. In fact, they're not even dubbed. So you have to read the subtitles. It's about working your way through the 2 worlds of gods. I was hooked onto that movie, and I told Prashant that is plane mein to main stuck ho jaungi. Because they're making you review your life in the 7 stages. This stage, that stage, that stage, different gods are analyzing you. And then you're going from one to another, to another, to another. And I'm like, oh my Lord, so much of work to be done. So if we see stuff like that, it's kind of an open chapter that so much of work has to be done. You and me can't become content if we, like, whether we're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, there should always be a feeling that what can I do? Something better to make myself better, to make quality of somebody better through me. There was much practical advice along the way. The value of patience and of waiting, the wisdom in the balance of nature, the eradication of fears, especially the fear of death, the need for learning about trust and forgiveness, the importance of learning not to judge others or to halt anyone's life, the accumulation and use of intuitive powers, and perhaps most of all, the unshakable knowledge that we are immortal. We are beyond life and death, beyond space and beyond time. We are the gods and they are us. Now, this is something we must remember. हम सब के अंदर भगवान का अंश है. We are made in the image of God. If we worship the divinity inside us, which is also the body that we are living in, if we worship the body that we're living in, we will never abuse it. So much work that we can do. And if we trust and if we forgive, then a lot of issues will fade away automatically. हम ट्रस्ट ही तो नहीं कर पाते, हम फॉरगिव ही तो नहीं कर पाते, अपने आप को भी दूसरों को भी। हम जजमेंटल बने रहते हैं। नाउ दैट्स वन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग टू लीव अवे। वी हैव सो मेनी इंट्यूटिव पावर्स, हमने उसको इकट्ठा किया हुआ है, उसको यूज नहीं ले रहे। And there's this unshakable knowledge that we all have about life and death. By now, all of us know कि जैसे हम हर सुबह नहाते हैं, कपड़े बदलते हैं, ऐसे ही हर लाइफ में एक नया शरीर मिलता है, एक नई लाइफ मिलती है। It's all eternal. We are immortal, right? एंड जो इस लाइफ में करेंगे वो आगे कंटिन्यू करेगा। लाइक एक बुक खत्म हुई, दूसरी बुक शुरू हुई, एक खत्म हुई, दूसरी शुरू हुई। So now Dr. Y says, what's happening? She says, I'm floating. What state are you in? Nothing. I'm floating. Edward owes me something. He owes me something. Do you know what he owes you? No, some knowledge. He owes me. He had something to tell me, maybe something about my sister's child. Your sister's child. Yes, it's a girl. Her name is Stephanie. Stephanie, what do you need to know about her? I need to know how to get in touch with her. She answered. Catherine had never mentioned anything to me about this niece. Is she very close to you? No, but she'll wait. She'll want to find them. Find who? My sister and her husband. And the only way she can do that is through me. I am the link. He has information. Her father is a doctor. He's practicing somewhere in Vermont, the southern part of Vermont. The information will come to me when it's needed. Again, reflect back on this. जब जो मिलना होता है तब वो मिलता है। इंफॉर्मेशन जब आनी होगी, विजडम जब आनी होगी, तब आएगी। समय से पहले कुछ नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन अगर इंटेंशन है तो उसको आप थोड़ा सा एक्सेलरेट कर सकते हैं। I later learned that Catherine's sister and her sister's future husband had put the infant daughter up for adoption. They were teenagers at that time and they were not yet married. The adoption was arranged by the church. There was no information available after that time. Yes, I agreed. When is the right time? Yes. Then he will tell me. He will tell me what other information does he have for you? I don't know, but he has things to tell me. He owes me something, something. I don't know what. He owes me something. Are you tired? I see a bridle tackle on the wall, a bridle. I see a blanket lying on the outside of a stall. It's a barn. They have horses there. They have many horses. What else do you see? I see many trees with yellow flowers. My father is there, takes care of the horses. I realized I was talking to a child. What does he look like? He's very tall with gray hair. Do you see yourself? I'm a child, a girl. Does your father own the horses or just take care of them? He just takes care of them. We live nearby. Do you like horses? Yes. Do you have a favorite? Yes, my horse, his name is Apple. I remember her lifetime as Mandy when a horse named Apple had also appeared. Then again, she repeating a lifetime we had already experienced. Perhaps she's approaching it from another perspective. Apple, yes. Does your father let you ride Apple? No, but I can feed him things. He's used for pulling the master's wagon, pulling his carriage. He's very big. He has big feet. If you're not careful, he'll step on you. Who else is with you? My mama is there. I see a sister. She's bigger than me. I don't see anyone else. What do you see now? I see the horses. Is this a happy time for you? Yes. I like the smell of the barn. She was being very specific, referring to the moment in time in the barn. Do you smell the horses? Yes, the hay. Yes, their faces are so soft. The dogs there too, black ones, some small black ones, some cats, lots of animals. Dogs are used for hunting. When they hunt for birds, the dogs are allowed to go. Does anything happen to you? No, my question was too vague. Do you grow up to this farm? Yes, the man who's taking care of the horses, he's not really my father. Now I was confused. He's not your real father. I don't know. He's not my real father. No, but he's like a father to me. He's a second father. He's a very good to me. He's very good to me. He has green eyes. Look in his green eyes and see if you recognize him. He's good to you. He loves you. Yes, he's my grandfather. He loved us very much. My grandfather loved us very much. He used to take us out with him all the time. We used to go with him to where he would drink and we would get sodas. He liked us. The question had jolted her out of that lifetime into her observing superconscious state. She was viewing Catherine's life now and the relationship with the grandfather. Do you still miss him? Yes. But you see, he has been with you before, I explained, trying to minimize her hurt. He was very good to us. He loved us. He never hollered us. He used to give us money and take us with him all the time. He liked that, but he died. But you'll be with him again. You know that. Yes, I've been with him before. He was not like my father. They're so different. Why does one love you so much and treat you so well, and the other one is indifferent? Because one has learned. He has paid a debt he has owed. My father has not paid his debt. He has come back without understanding. He will have to do it again. Yes, I agreed. He has to learn to love, to nurture. This is a lesson for all of us. If we don't learn to love, to nurture ourselves and others in this lifetime, we will have to come back and do the same life again. And I'm telling you with experience, I have been there. I wasted lives after lives after lives. So if they don't understand this, they treat children like property instead of like people to love. Again, an important lesson. बच्चे हमारे वो ऐसा करें, ये हमारा ego हमें बुलवाता है. Just accept them for the children that they are, for the people that they are, and give them unconditional love. That's all that there is to give to children. To give them the confidence that we have your back, come what may, whatever you choose. Very important. Your father still has to learn this. Yes, your grandfather already knows. I know. We have so many stages we go through when we are in physical state, just like the other stages of evolution. We have to go through the infancy stage, the baby stage, the child stage. We have to go so far to be able before we reach our goal. The stages in physical forms are hard. Those in the astral plane are easy. There we just rest and wait. These are the hard stages now. How many planes are there in the astral stage? There are 7, she answered. What are they? I questioned, looking to confirm those beyond the 2 mentioned earlier in the session. I've been to only 2, the transition stage and the stage of recollection. Those are the 2 that I'm familiar with also. We will know about the others later. You have learned at the same time that I did, I observed. We learned today about deaths. It is very important. I will remember what I should remember. Will you remember these planes? No, they aren't important to me. They're important to you. I'd heard this before. This was for me to help her, but more than that, to help me, but more than that, too. Yet I could not quite fathom what the greater purpose could be. You seem to be getting so much better now. You're learning so much. Yes, she agreed. Why are people now so drawn to you, attracted to you? Because I've been freed from my fears and I'm able to help them. They feel some psychic pull towards me. Are you able to deal with that? Yes. There's no question about it. I'm not afraid. Good, I will help you. I know you're my teacher. Now, isn't that absolutely beautiful? The trust, the faith. If all of us go back in our lives, we can find so much more that we've learned. Today morning, the meditation will be about all the lessons we have learned, all the teachings that have come to us.
Prachi, most amazing session today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pratimanti. Thank you so much. So now, today it's about closing our eyes, resting comfortably. The back doesn't have to be straight. If it is, it's fine. Depends completely upon you. Go deeper within yourself with your breath work. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Align with your breath work. That's a beautiful gift of life, this breath that comes in and goes out. It's teaching us that life is precious. It's teaching us that we take this breath very, very, very easily, not seriously. There are things that we need to tell people, and we'll tell them later. What if there's no later? So seize the moment and do what you must do now rather than keep waiting and regretting later. You have to give information to somebody, do it now, not later. You have to express your gratitude, do it now, not later. You have to say sorry, do it now, not later. This breath is telling you that whatever it is, it's now. The breath that is coming now goes now, and the new breath will come in. Similarly, the time that's coming now will go, and the new time will come. Whether it will come or not, whether the breath will come or not, is all dependent upon the work that we're doing now, the work on ourselves. Life has taught us so much. So now that we have retuned into our breath work and learned so much, let's look back at our parents. We have just been born, and we realize the beautiful value of this breath, this breathing. Take a close look at your parents. What role have they played? Whether they're living in their physical body or not, doesn't matter. Your gratitude, your thanks, your love can travel through all realms. Now, you may think that they've done something for you which wasn't right, they should have done things differently. But do you realize that you, as a parent, if you are one, you do whatever in your best of capacity, in your best of your consciousness for your child? Now, that could be wrong or right. But whatever you've done with your best knowledge for your child. So, whatever your parents have done, it's a conscious universal rule that they do it for the best interest of their child. Now, that could be a wrong decision in somebody's eyes, and it could be right in somebody else's. So, we remove the judgment from our thinking right now and just become thankful consciously for what they have done for us. They've made sacrifices whether we know or whether we don't. They have planned for our future whether we know or whether we don't. Yes, they could have planned for our future, keeping them in mind for their unfulfilled dreams. Maybe they wanted those to come true to us. But is that wrong? Aren't we sometimes doing that for our children or grandchildren, if we have? But can we ourselves consciously drop that layer of expectation from our children and thank our parents for having had them? It's all right. We are who we are because of them. And see the bright side. There's so much in you that can be looked upon you. So look at your 5 qualities. You could be a good orator, could be a deep thinker, could be a good artist, could be a good human being by nature. Whatever 5 good attributes that you have. These are your gifts from your parents, from your guidances that you've received. Take a pause and reflect upon them. Nurture yourselves. Everybody has an innate quality. What is yours? How can you nurture that? And whenever there are blockages, by now we're aware of the angels, masters, guardians in our lives, their presence. Can we tap into them and request them for their divine intervention. When in need, ask. When in doubt, ask. Ask and you shall be given. Do I trust this process of life, or are these mere words for me? What is my innate belief? As you progress more, thank all the teachers that you have had in the form of grandparents, people that you have loved, ancestors, elders, teachers in school, gurus, somewhere or the other. So many of them came. To the books that taught you so much, to the teachers who helped translate the readings of the books to you, to the discipline that you had while you studied in school, the dedication that you had towards your academic life, the determination you had towards fulfilling a goal if you had any. And it's never too late to have a goal. Right now, on call is a complete feminine energy. So it's okay to have fulfilled your purpose as a woman, to your duty. But is that your life's purpose? To give love? Most definitely. Everybody must have done something great to be born as a woman, because a woman is an epitome of giving, of love, of unconditional love. But having done that for all the loved ones around, what have you done to love yourself, to nurture yourself, you, the soul? And if your replies are in the affirmation, congratulations. If they're not, it's never late. Identify the goal that you wish to be and break it into step by step, doable actions. Hold yourself accountable, or somebody else that you know who can help you be on this path, a mentor. Create a like-minded community. Create something in your life which you know now next is this. Life is indeed beautiful. Do we see the beauty in that? Or is it clouded by the perception that we put on it? By now being so grateful for everything around us, at least we're grateful for the life that we live. At times the thought comes that, is my life worth it? Am I doing something good for anybody? Know it that you are. Everybody is. Every life is significant. Next question could be, how can I make my life more significant? Fast forward yourself after 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, how many years you look later at your life and see what you could have done in 2023 and see that what you could have done, you've done that, you've achieved that. How do you feel? Versus, I know I had an option, but I didn't choose it, I didn't take it. And what is the result? Now is the time. Energy is all there is in the world. What energy are we expanding? What belief are we holding towards the energy that is available to us? Is there a limited mindset, limited belief? Or is there enough gratitude and you say, I am grateful, I am blessed, I am a yes person, I am open and receptive to all the goodness and abundance that's coming from the universe in my life? Do I believe that wherever I turn, prosperity follows? Do I believe that I shine bright, bright here, bright now? Do I believe that every moment I'm becoming empowered, enlightened, enlivened, enlightened? Do I believe that I am truly whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and joyfully happy? Do I believe that I am willing to love and approve of myself? I'm willing to trust life. I know that I am safe. I'm willing to forgive. I'm willing to make a change. That will is very important. What are you willing to do? Will means choice. Am I willing to do it? And now, in the end, you have to write a will. The time has come for you to breathe less, the limited breaths available now. And this will is something you're leaving for your children and your loved ones of your virtues, not of the bank balance. And this will is a gift to yourself for your next life. What are you willing to give? And you can only give what you have. What you don't have is only a dream, which you haven't worked on. Whatever you've assimilated in the past is what you have. What are these virtues that you are willing for your next life and you're willing to give to your loved ones? Think about this will in your deep meditation. So now I'm going to take you to your subconscious level and have a dialogue there. And believe that the masters, angel guardians will still be guiding you in that superconscious state. You can have an honest dialogue. After the meditation is over, write it down and see what you can give to yourself in your will that you will create. So now, get settled physically. See if you can be a little more comfortable. If your body isn't comfortable, it'll hamper your meditation. So get comfortable. These post-meditative meditations are helping you to reach your deep within. A posture is not that important here. What is important is your comfortable body that will help you go deep within, where you can drop the physical feeling of living in a body with aches and pains. When it just becomes a party to your deep connection. 10. You're getting settled. 9. Your deeper breath work begins. Relax and deeper. 8. You're tapping into the magical infinite power. 7. The 7 realms are just about to open up. 6. The power of this magical number. 5. The 5 elements that make you are with you. 4. The 4 directions are supportive of your inward journey. 3. The creator, preserver, destroyer are with you in this inward journey. two. You break the duality and emerge as one with yourself. And now you're entering a superconscious state. Just breathe, relax, and have a conversation with yourself and your masters, angels, and guardians. Be blessed in the sacred conversation. Find the jewels. You have it in you, and you are blessed. Know that.